Em 1947, na cidade de Roosevelt, Novo México, um disco voador caiu e seus tripulantes foram resgatados pela Força Aérea Americana. Afirma-se que apenas um alienígena teria sobrevivido a essa queda. Não se sabe como, mas o exército americano teria conseguido se comunicar com esse ser extraterrestre, cuja origem seria de um planeta chamado Serpo, da constelação de Zeta Reticuli, a 38 anos-luz da Terra. Na década de 1960, 12 americanos teriam embarcado em um disco voador com a missão de conhecer melhor a vida nesse planeta Serpo. Dos 12 americanos que teriam embarcado, 2 morreram na viagem, outros 2 decidiram não voltar mais para a Terra. 8 regressaram 12 anos depois. Um relatório de 3.000 páginas sobre essa tal suposta viagem está disponível na internet, em inglês, é claro. Se você é pesquisador de casos de ufologia, com certeza já deve ter ouvido essa história aí em alguns sites e canais. Mas será verdade? Será que esses caras do governo americano não encheram nosso cu de graveto para esconder uma outra verdade? Assista esse mini documentário agora e tire as suas próprias conclusões. Eu sou o André e você está no infame canal Viajante Zero. Afinal, nós queremos saber a verdade.
Eu também.
The U.S. government had one secret program in which 12 astronauts were sent to an alien homeworld, Serpo, 38.4 light years away from the years 1965 through 1978. When the returning astronauts came back, I believe there were 7, that report was finalized into a report called Project Serpo in 1980.
Rumors about this kind of thing have been flying around since the 1960s or 70s, so it's got some kind of historical provenance.
In November of 2005, Project Serpo was sent to my UFO threat list. I received an email from someone. He requested to be anonymous. When I first read that bombshell email, it was far different than anything I'd ever received. And even though it was a version that was different than what I was familiar with, it had the ring of truth.
Somebody within the government would have to be cooperating, because I can tell you that a lot of the information, not all the particular details, but a lot of the information is factual.
I believe that it is a disinformation campaign to lead people astray. That said, a good disinformation campaign, a good perception management campaign will always include nuggets of fact and truth. And some of those nuggets of fact and truth should be, if you're going to do it effectively, should be some of the more extreme facts or truths.
They brought back thousands of soil samples, samples from the Eben civilization, and I believe all these artifacts are now ensconced at Bolling Air Force Base, and photographs too.
There's always a possibility that the Serpo story was created for disinformation to present to the Soviets back during the Cold War, and somebody stumbled onto it. That's always that possibility, but I don't think so. It's not a professional job.
Myself and 3 others were working as a research team, looking into the Serpo story. We really wanted to get to the bottom of Rick's involvement in it.
You know, people within the UFO community immediately said, "Hey, is Richard Doty involved in this? Did Richard Doty do this, or did?" I never had anything to do with the Serpo story.
We were adamant at this time that Rick Doty was the person sending the information, but we didn't have any proof. And the only way we could get that proof is if we could see an actual copy of the original emails that the anonymous source had been sending Victor.
Unless Rick Doty is one of the greatest novelists and writers of the 21st century, it's not him.
We came up with a plan. We'll use the same name and just contact Victor and let him think that his anonymous source was back in touch with him. We asked Victor to send us copies of the emails that we allegedly had sent him, which meant we could look at the headers of these emails to determine where they actually came from. And it was from looking at those headers and having emails from Rick Doty to compare against that it was indeed Rick Doty's IP address on the Request Anonymous emails. And as it turned out later, he was also several other people in the story, all contacting Victor, and Victor thinking he's being contacted by a multitude of different people, when in fact it was all one person, it was all Rick Doty.
I didn't create it. I didn't conspire with anybody else to create it. It was created by somebody else, and those people I don't know.
Important. What's strange about the Serpo thing and Richard Doty was that he denied, continually and vociferously that he had anything to do with it. Yet he came to the Laughlin UFO convention to see what was going on there, to hear Bill Ryan talk and announce this to the world in person rather than just on the radio, and basically had his hands in a lot of things that were going on, or at least looked like an interested bystander. Why should he be interested in this silly story?
Por hoje é só, mas não percam os próximos vídeos do meu canal.